Greetings. I am back, good people. Thank you for joining my Aisha Speaks Jade page. None other than Aisha, affectionately known as Jade. I'm going to come to you briefly, hopefully tonight. I'm trying to go and do one more makeup live audio before I just relax for the evening, right? So I want to briefly speak to you about how to make the right choices in life. And again, that word choice, very powerful word. We have decisions and we definitely have choices in life. So how to make the right choices in life. So, fear of failure. At times, we can put off making a decision because we don't want to make the wrong ones. Of course we don't. We never want to be wrong. We don't want to make wrong decisions. When the reality is, there are no wrong decisions. What's your thoughts on that, guys? Do you believe that there are no wrong decisions in reality? If you break down the term, quote unquote, wrong decision, what does this even mean? Usually that we haven't got the result that we wanted. So the Dalai Lama once said, sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. This is really an interesting point. We often think, and of course, please definitely give me your feedback. We often think we know what we want and what is right for us. It can be helpful, though, to not get too attached to an outcome as a result of a decision. So this approach can be called an open and this approach can be called an open-minded action, where the emphasis is on taking action, but not becoming too fixated with achieving a specific outcome or result. The point is, sometimes we make a decision and we don't get what we originally wanted, but what we do get turns out to be better. So start by being open to alternative outcomes. I'm all about change. And with change, we can get great results. We can sometimes get those challenges, but to me, those challenges can be learned lessons, and you can turn them from a negative to a positive in a lot of situations. So avoid overthinking. So I think secondly, overthinking is one to avoid when decision making. If we think too much about a problem, it's easy to overcomplicate it and end up more confused than when we started. You ever felt that way, guys? It happens. So there's this over analysis and useful analysis. So again, over analysis and useful analysis. It's important to restrict any repetitive thoughts that are not bringing you to an action point, because this is an indicator you are running over analysis, which is a detrimental to decision making, or I should say detrimental to decision making. Again, it's important to restrict any repetitive thoughts that are not bringing you to an action point, because this is an indicator you are running over analysis, which is detrimental to decision making. A good tip to overcome over analysis is to get your thoughts out of your head and onto paper. This is a great way to structure your thinking. And I know people have done, and I've also been told that getting it from the brain, from that head of yours, and putting it on a piece of paper is so effective. You don't necessarily have to journal, and I'm not knocking journaling, because journaling is a very good tool as well. But get it out of your brain and put it on a piece of paper. So next is head versus heart. So in response to a question about head versus heart, this can be a really interesting point. So in my opinion, balance is key. So you don't want to be so ruled by your heart that all logic goes out the window. Yet you don't want to only be ruled by the facts, because gut instinct is very powerful stuff. So let's break it down. If I were to only be ruled by my heart, I might feel like my heart is telling me to bet my life savings on a horse, a horse on the Milbourne Cup. What an interesting analogy. Would that be a wise decision? Probably not. So on the other hand, we can sometimes be so consumed by the facts that we miss solutions. I'm pretty sure we have all had a situation in our life where we have felt like we were about to make a bad decision. Yet, logically, our feeling didn't make sense and we went ahead anyway. A few weeks later, it didn't work out and we are mentally screaming, "I just knew it was a bad idea." So how do you tell the difference between gut instinct and regular feelings or desires? That is the $1,000,000 question. So, for example, I might feel like eating a pie, but that doesn't mean my gut instinct is telling me to. Clearly, this is just a desire in the form of an intense feeling. So, instinct is an all pervading knowing. It is not led by sensory gain, pleasure of any kind, but is usually preceded by quiet contemplation. So one of the things that's been noticed is that gut instinct feeling do not go away. So if you get the feeling something is not right, then it lingers. Whereas feelings associated with pleasure, of course, we were talking about eating that pie, can be fleeting depending on how good that pie looks, how good that apple pie looks. So before you jump into making a decision based on a feeling of any kind, try letting it sit with you for a while to see if it lingers or if it disappears. So one other thing you can do to ensure you're not being led by feelings associated with pleasure is ask yourself this question. Is what I'm about to do for the benefit of everyone involved? So this is a great way to check that the decision is morally sound. And this is just examples. It can apply to whatever that situation is for you. So I want to talk about some life strategies again 6 tips for making the right choices in life. So number 1, banish any fears associated with making the wrong decision. Remember that failure is a prerequisite for success. 2, if the voice inside your head is starting to repeat itself, switch it off. This is over-analysis in action. Try getting your thoughts out of your head and onto paper to structure your thinking. 3, practice open-minded action, where you take action and make a decision, but don't get too attached to the outcome. 4, tune in for any instinctive feelings associated with a decision you're about to make. Be careful not to confuse instinct with desire. Try sitting with your decision for a while to see if it lingers before taking action. 5, check in with your morals. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to do for the benefit of everyone involved? And lastly, number 6, keep a balance between your head and your heart. You don't want to throw logic out of the window. However, it's important to listen to your gut. So I hope that you enjoyed these tips or gems that I spoke on, and perhaps you can apply it to your life. Or if this is not suitable for you and you feel like none of this can be applied to your life, then certainly I am open-minded to hear what has and what is currently that you apply to your life. And you can share it in this comment. I would like to invite you guys out to my social media platforms. They are all under Aisha Speaks Jade. And of course, you can find me here on Facebook. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and I have a YouTube channel. You can go to the YouTube channel and you can like it, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell. As always, be patient with all of the updates that's coming on my platforms. Always remember to take care of the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Always incorporate self-care into your life, as well as respect. And first, starting with respecting yourself and knowing your self-worth and liking and loving yourself, because it starts with you internally as well as externally. Okay? And I am sending out great positive energy to all of you wherever you are globally. This will be my last makeup audio for this evening because I really want to wind down. So enjoy wherever you are. I will be back tomorrow to finish up. I'm sending out positive vibes to everyone, great energy to everyone. Enjoy yourself, and with much gratitude, namaste and ashe. Good night, everyone.